Yo, check this out. Three, two, and one. Oh my god. It's AI art time. And yeah, busted out the TurboGrafx CD 2.0 US version for this one. Had to get the modified ROM file, yeah, because the ones that you normally get are all the Japanese ones. All right, non-existent audience. In the same evening, here I am at Skwatter with another ramble for the game he was playing. It came from the desert, another American-made game for the TurboGrafx CD, not released in the sorry, it is released in the United States, obviously, but it's not released in Japan. And this one has full motion video, as you can see. Which, well, first off, I guess I should say, Doc, ants actually do kill for sport, debatably, and even if you disagree about ants necessarily, you would have to say that multiple other species of creatures hunt for sport, especially wolves. In fact, that's how they keep the pack fit, honestly. That's how they keep themselves on the cutting edge of hunting, you know. They have to make sure that their skills are honed to the point that they will never lose another kill, right? So, but with that aside, I would say the full motion video in this game actually kind of confounds me in a certain way, because and I think that it might have been the very first time that full motion video was ever on the TurboGrafx CD, being both regions. Because it said that it was a TurboGrafx CD video technology developed by Ken Melville or something, or whoever was responsible. It's in the credits. And I'm looking at it, and I'm not sure if they're trying to go for like an actual 1950s aesthetic for it when it comes to the video color, because the TurboGrafx actually has a pretty robust color palette. So, and I know that it's going to be grainy, obviously grainy, low resolution. But I'm looking at the video and then I think, like, what is with all of these weird, washed out, awkward colors? Like, I know that all these people, these actors, are in front of green screens and everything, because you can kind of see like little green pixels, kind of flecking next to their around the edges of their bodies and stuff like that. But like, I don't know if it was a trick of the lighting or something like that, but it's like when the light reflects off of people's like faces, especially on the doctor, like some of his skin looks like a somewhat natural shade of pink, but the where the light really starts reflecting, like it turns a sickly yellow. That's kind of weird, honestly, because and I know that these games are made years apart, but the the Sherlock Holmes games, Consulting Detective, on TurboGrafx CD, and I'm rather confident that pardon me, all its warts, remember. I think that the first Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective game is a regular CD-ROM game, a 1 megabit CD-ROM game, I guess I should say it that way. And I know that the second one is a Super CD-ROM game that is a 2 megabit game, so it's got slightly more video RAM, if I'm not mistaken. But the video quality in those games is infinitely superior, I would say. I mean, it's still like really, really grainy and everything like that, but at least you can see like natural, true colors and everything. Like, not everything's washed out or garish or like inverted or anything like that, like the way it is in this game. Like, and what is it with the audio quality? Like, usually the Red Book audio on TurboGrafx CDs is fantastic, honestly. Like, I mean, the opening theme song, which I actually like, I've gone to the extent of ripping it from the images that I downloaded, and I've got it on my phone now. In fact, I ripped it early enough that I put it on my Creative Zen, the 60 gigabyte model. Yeah, I was never an Apple guy. I would always go for the cheaper models of computers and MP3 players and phones that I believed offered more for the price, and I haven't turned back, honestly, because I've been satisfied. But that aside, I would actually say that the game has actually a pretty decent soundtrack in all facets. But I was going to say the audio during the full motion video cutscenes is atrocious. I mean, like, it is so muffled and hissy, and sometimes, like, when the actors like kind of shuffle around, you can hear the mic rubbing against their clothes, and sometimes it creates a static clash that just burns your eardrums, right? Like, I'm not sure if it was when the sheriff was talking, but like, all of a sudden there's just uh, like a drummer's cymbal hiss. Like, I don't know, a sudden hiss that just blows out your speakers. Honestly, I was like, oh, jeez. I'm wondering if I should uh, fix that there. But no, I decided not to. Remember, all warts. But and here's another thing. I would say that the actors are actually pretty good. They're all, probably just people from around the local town where this was mastered. And I was actually curious about that, because it's like, in order to record all of this full motion video and the lines and the actors and everything and the music, you would have to have done it at some kind of a studio, and they list it in the credits and everything. And like, I'm sitting there thinking, it's like, wow, this is like pretty low quality. I don't know if I get my money back from those people, or maybe, as I said, it was the TurboGrafx CD video technology that was just poorly coded or implemented that caused such low quality audio, because the the game isn't. It doesn't even take up a full 650 megabyte CD, which is how large CDs were at the time. They hadn't yet progressed to 700 megabytes, as far as I know. So, like, I mean, the disc costs itself like pennies on the dollar, right? So, in order to have larger video files, I wouldn't see a problem with that necessarily. You wouldn't need a bigger, more expensive CD with a higher capacity. So, yeah, really, really, really strange, honestly. Which, I mean, it's like, I know they didn't have necessarily a whole lot of money behind them, but again, this was an officially released game on other platforms by Cinemaware, so they had to have some kind of financial backing to them. I would say that this game actually this game actually tells a pretty decent narrative, I would say. I find the characters, all of them, endearing, even the ones that hate you. Like, I especially like Lud. He's absolutely hilarious. He's so much like myself. Like, I find myself doing his accent and everything. Like, I repeat his lines. It's just like, you got us slaving away in a freaking dump. You better watch yourself, boy. I absolutely love that. He's a cool dude. But one thing that I would say is kind of confusing to me is, at one point you go home and I'm not sure if it's your real father and your stepmother, or your stepmother and your stepfather. They chew you out. And then you kind of slink off to the living room where you watch some TV. And the first time you see this strange lady that keeps showing up on the TV periodically whenever you watch it, I don't know if that's the same lady that you meet at the end of the game, because she doesn't look like her, right? And this just may be a trick of the awkward lighting or the really jilted color palette that they're using for the full motion video, but the lady looks like a black lady, but the lady that you see later on is that dark-haired white lady that kind of looks like Betty Page. So I don't know if that was like a different actress that they had in that short little clip that just got put in by error, or I don't even know, right? Because, I mean, it's like the lady just does not look like the other lady. And in the text-based walkthrough that I was reading, they say it's like, watch these cutscenes if you want to have a little more not peace of mind, but knowledge as to why this lady is there, right? At the end of the game. So I did, and I'm just like, huh, kind of leaves me with more questions than answers, right? Uh, I would say this game, I truly remember beating this game so many years ago, and yet I cannot find any evidence that I did. I've checked through all of my old files in my hard drives. I've checked through Magic Engine Emulator. I have no cheat files for it, and I guess I should mention that this game, while I did use save states and rewind and especially slow motion, especially at the end near the battle with the Ant Queen, I used no actual cheats. I used no RetroArch cheats. Used no physical console cheats, and I used no hex editor cheats. I played this other than the save states, rewind, and slow motion. I played this entirely fairly. I played this unassisted in that matter. So I mean, it's not the first time that I've done it. I know that I've beaten the two Knights of the Old Republics as well as Jade Empire without any kind of cheats. So not the first time, as I said, but still, it's I kind of impressed with myself. Sometimes I even impress myself. At risk of me sounding prideful, which is one of the 7 deadly sins. But no, just something to mention there because believe me, I tried looking for the cheats. I tried looking for infinite ammo, infinite grenades during both the side-scrolling segments, the cursor shooting segments, which I thought would have been impossible, but thanks very much to the slow motion feature, it made them very, very doable. In fact, the one things that I thought, like I honestly didn't even know how to beat the overhead stages where it's a bird's eye view and you're kind of running around throwing bombs and everything. I really think that a great quality of life improvement that they should have implemented at the time was to show on screen all the time what your ammo was and what weapon that you had selected, because I had no idea what was going on during those stages, right? Like, I would throw bombs and everything. I'd kill all the ants. Like, I didn't know if I had a number of ants to kill, or I would try throwing the grenades into the green glowing holes, and to no avail. I had no idea that you had to hit the start button in order to change weapons, and you could only destroy the chasms to the ant layer by using dynamite, of which you had about half of the dynamite sticks compared to the number of grenades that you had. So that was confounding to me, right? I found those stages of the game to be probably the most stressful. Not necessarily the hardest, but the most stressful, I would say, because I would find myself running out, and then I'd have to use the rewind thing because I had used too many dynamite sticks, killing ants that were continuously coming out of the hole, and then that would negate the burying of the hole if there were ants in there at the time, which I thought was really unfair. But the side-scrolling stages, since I got the backflip and forward flip thing, they got a lot easier than I remember, and I realized a lot of the time that you can just backflip away from enemies in order to get away from them, and you wouldn't need to waste your ammo. And I remember, because I honestly remember beating this game before, or maybe I just watched another playthrough of it or something like that. But I remember doing everything right, and the doctor is the one who disables the force field. But in this playthrough, I swear I was following a walkthrough to the letter because I did not want to get this wrong. I wanted to get this game done, close the chapter on it, never look back. And strangely enough, I thought that the doctor had died because he didn't deactivate the force field. And that's what the walkthrough said would happen if you did everything right. Beat every overhead stage, shooting stage, saw the force field, gave Sonny the transponder, but in the end I ended up saving the doctor anyways, at least, so, like, because everybody was acting as if he died, but nope. Yeah. Doc, I thought you were dead. Nope. Well, That's it. I guess, we're heading into the credits now because the video window in Cyberlink is now frozen. But I guess, those are my rambles off the fly of this game. I'm glad that it's over, but I enjoyed the playthrough. So I will say this has been another ramble by Skwatter, and I am once again out.